Sophia, welcome to the Vermillion Unplugged. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you, Jose. How are you doing?
I'm actually very tired. So it's because I won't drag this too long. I just came back from a trip from Mexico.
Yeah.
We came back on Tuesday, and I'm telling you, man, that flight,
Awful.
like, all right, I'll give you a
Give it
brief
to me.
rundown.
Yeah, let's go.
So we left 2 weeks ago. I forgot what date.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to leave from Sioux Falls, and then it goes to Dallas, Fort Worth.
Okay.
And then it hits to Mexico.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to leave like around, I think it was supposed to be like at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. or 7 a.m., something like that.
Early.
We wake up early. We go
Yeah.
over there to Sioux Falls with my uncle.
Yep.
And then I wake up and then it says delayed. I'm like 2 hours. I'm like, okay. Then it gets delayed. And it gets delayed till 7 p.m.
All of that day.
Yeah, so it was like a 12-hour delay. Luckily, we weren't at the airport we were staying, but I was like, oh, this is great. And I was like, well, then that means we missed our connection flight.
Yep.
So either way, we got there. We went to Dallas, and then first of all, we haven't ate. So we were asking for like these vouchers they give, $12.
Starving.
Yeah, they give like $12. Then first of all, there's nothing to eat. Like we went to, I think there's like Popeyes in there. They ran out of food. They gave us the most expensive option, so we had to pay still. And then after that, we got the hotel, and I'll tell you, this sucked.
Let's go.
So we get the hotel, and then we go to the taxis.
Yeah.
And the guy is all like, yeah, come over here, and like, do you mind riding with someone else? I'm like, sure. Bring this. There's another guy, and then there's another lady, and then it's
Why not?
me, my wife, and my kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I checked to see where the address is. It says right there. It says like 7 minutes away. Well, okay, that's cool.
Oh.
So we're driving, and I'm from Dallas, Fort Worth, so I know the area.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, this isn't, where are we going? Why are we heading to Dallas? Because it's like in the middle
Yeah.
airport. And it's like, I check. I'm like, hey, we're like 25 minutes away. Where are we going? First of all, I'm like, I've seen this type of movie. We're going to get killed or something.
You're gonna get murdered. This is how
Exactly.
murders they start.
That's how it is.
Their second location. That's how it starts.
And then my wife asked, we're like, where are we going? We're taking her. And we asked, we're like, oh, they got different places. But I'm like, but why are we like going different places? Why do you take all of us? She's heading to Dallas. I think he's heading to like Bedford, which is it's like on the other side.
Like way far.
And we're on the south side. Well, this is annoying. And then he takes us, and then it's another 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We get to the hotel. The roof is like collapsed, like the entrance. I'm like, oh,
You gotta be. Come on.
Well, luckily, like you could go through the site at a call.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, I'm like, all right, let's just get something to eat here. They don't got what do you call it?
Continental breakfast.
They don't. And I'm like, all right, it's fine, let's go. But luckily that day was smooth. We got our trip. We headed to Mexico. The whole trip was fine.
Other than the beginning.
Yeah, the beginning sucked.
Where in Mexico did you go?
It's called Guanajuato. It's
Okay.
I think it's in the like central part of Mexico. It's where the mountain and valleys are.
Beautiful.
Beautiful weather.
Yeah.
Amazing weather. It was like 70, 80 degrees.
Lovely.
I thought it was beautiful. My wife said it was kind of hot, but I thought it was great. But then I'll make it brief. Then the last thing is our flight on Tuesday. It left at, I believe, at 5 a.m. But they always recommend go there 2 or 3 hours early. So
Always. Yeah.
But we went to sleep at midnight, and then we had to wake up at 2. So we had like 2 hours of
Exhausted.
Yeah. So I'm still trying to recover. But I had an amazing vacation.
Okay, good.
The flight sucked though.
Yeah.
Both. But let's get with you.
But you did it.
Yeah. But this is so this is where I wanted to bring you. So
Yeah.
you the owner?
I am the manager.
Manager.
The owners are Jody and Becky Fry.
You're the
out of
manager.
Houston.
Okay, manager, and it's called Pied Piper
Yes.
Flowers.
Pied Piper Vermillion Flowers and Gifts.
Okay, give me a brief rundown. What is that place?
Yes. So I think we should start with the original Pied Piper Flowers and Gifts, which is in Yankton off the corner of Broadway and 15th. That one started as the Novotny Greenhouse in the 30s and 40s and was selling plants, all sorts of good things. Then in 1975, Jim and Kathleen Piper purchased the Novotny Greenhouse and changed it to what we know it is today as Pied Piper Flowers and Gifts. And then in 2018, Jody and Becky Fry bought Pied Piper Flowers and Gifts. And then they expanded to Vermillion on September 18th, 2023 for Pied Piper Vermillion Flowers and Gifts. So that's kind of how we got here.
Oh, okay. So there was another one in Yankton. Yankton,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's our sister store. They started there, and then we are kind of the offshoot here in Vermillion.
Now, where that place is, because it's on Cherry.
Yep.
Is it? Is that store also part of the other ones? Because I saw they did like a remodel on those.
Yeah, that strip mall. For a long time, it was an eyesore for years and years. I've lived here since 2011. I came to college here and then never really left. And it's been an eyesore for all those years. And then they fixed it up and we rented the space there. So yeah, there's the All-Star Wash and custodial supplies, and then the All-Star Wash, which is the laundromat, and then the Oola Salon, and then Pied Piper Vermillion.
Oh, okay.
All at that strip mall.
That's cool. Now, so what is the store? Like, what do you guys sell? Is it services or I still haven't been in there. I can't believe it. I should have been in there.
Jose, what are we doing here?
Exactly. I don't know. I need to go in there.
Well, you have to come in, get your wife some flowers.
Oh, man.
Well, we are a flower shop to begin with. Our bread and butter really is flowers. We want to make sure that everyone has the wedding that they want, the funeral that they need to grieve, and as well as just flowers to make people happy. So flowers are really what we stand on first. We also have plants as well, because we want to make sure sometimes if there's a funeral or someone isn't a flower person, which does happen, we want to have a nice little living green thing in your room. And then we also have the and gifts part. So we have a whole bunch of goodies that we're trying to figure out, what does Vermillion need? So Vermillion doesn't have a jewelry store. So we said, maybe we should carry some jewelry. So we have some Landstrom's TRJ. We have a case just in case, someone has an anniversary, need a quick thing in town. You come see us. We wanted to make sure to hit First Communion and baptism as well. Because again, in Vermillion, it's just hard to find what you need sometimes. And you don't want to have to always leave town to get a service.
True.
And so I think that's what really dragged us here is Wilson Floral sadly closed and then left a really open niche for floral needs as well as kind of gifty, fun thing needs. So we were able to kind of show up and have that taken care of.
Cool. Where do you guys get the flowers from?
Yes. So during the summer, we get a decent number of our flowers from the Hanson Greenhouse and Flower Farm out of Irene. The guy who runs it, his name is Madison. He is so sweet, and he grows them in Irene, so they're very local. So we always have a section. We have zinnias, lisianthus, veronica, salvia, and snapdragons from him. So we always get from him in the summer. And then our usual supplier is it's called NAFI. I always forget how to say it. It's the North American Wholesaler Flower Association. We could Google it. There's an I in there somewhere.
Close enough.
Yeah, there's something. It's NAFI. They're lovely. My flower distributor is Jeremy. He's great. So we get our flowers from them. So I call every Monday and Thursday, and depending on what orders we have, or if we have funeral services, we kind of order flowers from there.
How long have you been working at it? Since it started?
Yes. So I started working at the Pied Piper over in Yankton in August of 2023. And then when we opened here in Vermillion on the 18th of September, I started as manager and have been acting since.
Oh, that's cool. How are you liking it?
It is so fun, so fast-paced, so beautiful. I mean, I get to look at flowers every single day. Who could be more lucky than me? And I just get to be around pretty things and then find little gifts that maybe people want, which I think is fun.
What about when it hits those cold seasons? Does it change? I saw, because when I would drive by, I think around Christmas time, I think I see Christmas stuff, right?
You did, yes.
Okay.
So yeah, we take holidays pretty seriously. We do pretty big, we call them holiday flips, where we go from season to season. So yes, our first flip that Vermillion saw was from our fall to our Christmas, and we go all out. We want to make sure you feel like you're walking into a winter Christmas wonderland. You feel engulfed by that holiday season, positive or negative. The holidays have positives and negatives to everybody. So yeah, if you come in, you're having a bad day, come see the garlands, the Christmas lights, all the good stuff. So yeah, we did do a big Christmas, and this year we have another big Christmas coming.
Cool.
Lots of exciting things.
How was that first year for y'all? Was it good? Was it okay?
So much fun, so much work. And the thing that I learned the most in our first year was, I want to say details. Details in a flower shop really matter. If you write someone's name, whose name is Kara, instead of Kara, and you do a Cara, you look like a chump. And so you really have to be cognizant of asking those questions, asking those follow-ups. Hey, can you spell that name? So I think details really have just been hammered in my mind. And if you don't have your details, if you have an undetailed ticket, how can I make beautiful flowers? If I have an undetailed phone call with somebody, they're going to leave upset. So I think details are our big one, the big learning point.
Okay, now I'm kind of curious. I need to go to the shop now.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, how much are the flowers? Or what? No, actually, I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
What is y'all's maybe like, let's say, your top three, top items that you guys are selling, or most popular ones?
I would say, well, the summer months are slower. You would be shocked. So my friend came into the store and she said, because she came in a lot in the winter, but she hasn't been in this much this summer. And she said, I have a garden full of flowers in the summer, so I don't have to come in here. I said, okay, fine. I get it. So in the winter months, we do get picked up a little bit because people want those bright colors. They want to see the beautiful flowers that aren't growing in their yard. So I wanted to hit that one.
Okay.
We were asked the question again, the second one. I forgot it. I had to go back on the winter. One of the main things we sell.
Yeah.
I would say, as I said, I think flowers are always our bread and butter. We really want to make sure everybody gets the flowers they want and that they need in some cases. People do, it kind of depends on the season. So right now we're in the middle of kind of a shift from summery flowers to more of a fall tone. So summer's kind of whites, pinks, yellows, like lavenders. And fall, we move towards kind of golden yellow, oranges, burnt oranges, reds. So that is kind of what we're transitioning to now, is instead of doing all of our springy things, we're doing kind of a fall sunflower motif.
How much do those flowers cost? And I'll be honest, because I've shopped at Hy-Vee, Walmart, I've been to a flower farm, and I'm like, man, why are flowers, for me, maybe it's because I'm a guy, flowers are kind of expensive.
Yes, no, and I think that is very much something that is a big part of this job is education. Because before I worked at the flower shop, I didn't know what flowers cost. I thought that, you go to Walmart, you buy a bunch, great, or whatever. And I think since working here, I really realized that, yes, flowers have a premium price, but they also have a premium place in your life. So if you want to have that joy and those beautiful smells in your house, you do have to pay the price for it. And also, we work extremely hard on the back end of things to make sure your flowers last as long as they can. So me and my girls, we take a lot of care when flowers do come in Mondays and Thursdays to process them in a way that will extend their life rather than just be like, here's your flowers, take them. So we take time to strip the leaves off, because if there's less leaves, that means that's less chances for mold to grow, meaning that your flowers will last longer. We clip them all when they come in, and then we dip them in this solution called Quick Dip, which makes them take this huge sip of water and get a bunch of nutrients in them to then be even more healthy. And then every single week we go through every bucket we have, and it's called cleaning our coolers, where we pull them all out. Every flower gets touched. Bad ones get thrown away, put on the waste sheet, and we only keep the good ones. And the way I was taught at the Yankton store, so Audra Hecht, she has run the Yankton store for, she told me, a very good number of years since Jim and Kathleen were there. And she told me the standard is, if you wouldn't give it to your own mother, we shouldn't sell it in our store. And I think I've really taken that to heart to make sure that the products we send out and the product we give is something that I would give to my mom or my grandma or someone I cared about. So if you come into my store, I want to make sure your loved one's getting cared for.
Okay. It's great. I didn't know a lot about flowers or
There's
about
a lot of steps. I didn't know either. I love flowers. My grandma has always had huge gardens, and the reason I love flowers. And then I got the flower shop job, and I just learned so much about the business, how to get people in, how to make good sales, and
I think it's just me. Like, my wife loves flowers. Well, I guess like a lot of people like flowers.
Yeah.
But for me, when I buy or when I see flowers, I'm like, I buy them. I'm like, man, first of all, I'm like, it's kind of pricey. But then they don't feel like, well, they're eventually going to die.
Absolutely. They're ephemeral.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, did I just waste money? But I guess not. I guess, they love the flowers. Another thing that surprised me.
Yeah.
You know about like these flower farms around?
Yeah, there's Flourish Flower Farm.
Yeah.
What did I read? Yeah, I've been where you pick. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. So we go to I don't say we go, but when we serve food at the Flourish Flower Farm.
Yeah.
The first time I was like, I heard about it and I was like, what is it?
Yeah.
And they said it's flowers. I thought it was like, they just sell the flowers. But I'm like, you pay and you cut the flowers. I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's the experience. And I was like, it's just me being kind of cheap. I was looking at the prices. I'm like, so I got to pay to cut the flowers. And I was like, there's no way people will go. apparently it's super popular and people love it.
Packed.
And then it's the experience, what you're saying.
Yes, is you get to go. I think it's really, gardening is a lot of work. As a person who gardens, I invest an hour a day, if not more, on the weekends and the summers to making sure my flowers are lovely and beautiful. And so you have to apply that amount of time to a business of florals. So, they have to start their seeds inside. They have to have space to plant them. I know that Madison out of Irene just got a hoop house, I believe. So now he has more of a structure to grow in. So it really is a huge production for them to put on and to grow the flowers. And, if there's bad weather, you have to water more. So you have to be conscious of the elements. You have to be conscious of what's happening with the world around us. So I think the price is definitely one that some people get extreme sticker shock. But then for me, I'm like, dang, this is cheap. Phenomenal. Because, it's just the different perspectives of I'm with flowers all day and I'm always with those numbers. And then, I've gone to her You Pick 2 or 3 times now. And it has just been the most fun to really see that. And I'm always like, okay, a little expensive, but also supporting a farmer, supporting a local Vermillion person, and keeping our flower budget local. Like, why not?
Okay, now I do relate to, like, the gardening part. I don't know. I think I'm just, like, a regular gardener.
Yeah.
Because this is what I love every year.
Yeah.
So I take care of my serrano peppers.
Yep.
And I take care of them like they're my babies.
Your children. You're like,
yeah, that one, and also basil plant.
Yes.
So, those two. Those are the ones I love. I know, like, my wife, sometimes she'll have tomatoes. I'm not a tomato guy.
Yeah.
And then she'll have, I think this is not just her, everyone. What is it? Not eggplant, zucchini or something?
Everyone does zucchini.
And I get so tired of it because it grows. It's just so much.
Yes.
But it was I think it's one of the worst years we had for the zucchini because my wife planted a few and just in these pots.
Yep.
And then there's always this bug or something that gets in there and it died.
Yep.
So we only produced one. I mean, eventually I was kind of happy.
Yeah.
But she was kind of like devastated.
Well, yeah.
She blamed it on me. She said I cursed it. I'm like, I didn't curse anything, but I'm just happy it died. But
I mean, the energy you put out potentially could have been, you never know. But I think that's the thing about zucchini. Someone told me a joke that at the end of summer, if you don't roll your car windows up in parking lots, people are just going to hurl zucchinis in there because they don't know what to do with them anymore because they're so prolific.
Yeah.
Zucchini, 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 zucchini. So I just keep my windows way up in the summer. Ain't nobody giving me zucchini.
Yeah, because last year a friend of ours, they let us borrow they let us use their garden. So we planted, I think last year we used it twice, 2 years ago and a year ago. But a year ago, so Myra had a bunch of tomatoes, a bunch of, I don't even know what kind, just a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And then we had the first time we had to do canning. I learned how to can.
So fun.
Too many tomatoes.
Yeah.
And then she had the zucchinis. And it wasn't that many plants. I think it was just like 3, but they just pow. Yeah. And I'm like, what are we gonna do? And she said, eat. I'm like, okay. We ate them, but I get tired of them.
Like, yes, like how many zucchini breads can you make? How many zucchini frittatas can you make? How many zucchini? I did see a thing for zucchini pickles. So like, you can pickle it.
I guess you can.
Just like a cucumber, and it has a similar crunch. So put that in your mind.
Okay.
As your gardening friend and pickling friend, pickle those zucchinis. I saw it in spears. I've never tried it personally, but it makes sense. It's a crunchy vegetable that would absorb acidic liquid and pickle.
You're right. So what do you like to garden?
I like to grow flowers, I would say, shockingly. When I bought my house in 2020, one of the main things I wanted to do is have a huge flower garden. A lot of my memories of being young is gardening with my grandma, and that was deeply important to me. So I was like, I have to do this. So I have a large patch of Asiatic lilies that were about as tall as me this year. They were wild. Cosmos are my favorite flower, so I always have a Cosmo patch in the front. And then this year I expanded further into my yard to grow more of kind of a prairie area with some natural grasses and more wildflowers. So I really just want to see flowers all day.
See, like, I love, even though like the buying flowers I'm not too much of a fan of, but like if I had like a garden with a bunch of different flowers, because I would love to have like butterflies or bees or all those insects. Like that kind of stuff. Like it could be, the flowers on this side and then the regular garden right here.
Yes.
That's the part I like.
Yeah.
I've seen some in town. I don't know the houses, I forgot the streets, but they'll have like you walk and then like in the front yard, it's just a bunch of like it looks like wildflowers.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, those are. I think they're cool.
Yeah.
Because I can see the butterflies and everything. I know some people, they say they're not fans. They rather just have like a cut lawn. But I like that. I really like that because that means I don't have to cut my.
Well, it's also the idea of a monoculture. So when you create just a grass lawn, you're giving one plant that has no ecological benefits for where we're living. So we're in the plains. We're growing a grass seed that isn't native here. We're growing a grass for the looks of it rather than for the uses. And for me, gardening is for use. I garden for the bugs. I garden for all the creepy crawly things that my roommate is so afraid of and runs screaming. But because if we don't feed the bees and the pollinators with flowers, they're not going to live because they have to live. So when you have crops, I saw some lady, she said a similar thing. She had her vegetables on one side and she planted a row of zinnias. So then to make sure that her crops got pollinated, the flowers were there attracting the bugs, and the bugs were like, oh, more plants to pollinate, let's boogie. So I think it's a game of, grass lawns are great and have aesthetic beauty, and also it's not creating a habitat for the bugs.
What about now we're gonna talk about lawns.
Yeah.
So
don't get me started on lawns, man. I'll go off.
What do you think about? So I'm very curious. What do you think about like raking leaves? I always thought okay.
Do it.
So I remember when I was a kid, we would. I guess everyone does it. Like you rake the leaves.
Yep.
And then I'm always wondering. I'm like, why do we gotta do it? Because we put them in the trash bags and throw them. There's always leaves. But I always wonder. I'm like, hey, what about back in the day? Like super back in the day. I mean, what happens if you just leave the leaves? Nothing happens, right?
So I have done some. So growing up, I had the same thing. My parents said you got to rake the leaves. It looks messy on the lawn, and I do validate that. Gardening and being ecologically sound can look very messy in some ways. But if you don't leave the leaves, some of our pollinators don't have places to rest for the winter. So you have to leave some leaf cover to then give your pollinators a place to stay. Leave them there all winter, and then when it does warm up in the spring, they'll come back out. Everything will be great. So to me, raking is a little beside the point because you are doing it, for vanity, B, it's an organic material that's going to break down and give your yard more nutrients. So why remove something that has nutrients from your yard and that goes away at the end of summer? So I have left my yard with leaves on it 3 years running, and they're gone in the spring. So I don't know. It's an interesting, it's hard to know. So what the right answer is.
Nothing will happen if I just leave the leaves.
Not really, no.
Okay.
Your neighbors might be like, he's got leaves this year. But I don't know.
There's no, speaking of like the city laws, there's no law against that, right? I know for like cut grass, you have to have a certain.
Grasses, there's definitely heights.
Okay.
Leaves? I don't know. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but I haven't gotten in trouble yet. Knock on wood.
Okay.
We'll find out.
I'm gonna leave the leaves now. I'm gonna see what happens.
It's worth a science experiment. I mean, why not?
Okay. Sweet. All right, now let's get back. So
back in.
Sophia, let's whoa. You say you lived, how many years have you lived in town?
Since 2011.
2011.
13 years.
Oh. How do you like it so far?
I love Vermillion. This place is so rad. I think when I came to school here, I really saw, first of all, my college experience was awesome. I have a degree in ceramics from USD, studied under Michael Hill, and I have a minor in art history. And so I think that really gave me a basis of really classical art training, form, color, all those good things that I now can apply to my job here at the floral shop. So yeah, I came here, got my degree, and then I just loved the community. I think this place is really special because of the people. The people who live here really make Vermillion exciting. I worked at the public library downtown for 5.5 years at the circulation desk, and it was just a really cool experience. I grew up in the suburbs outside of Denver, so it was very large.
Oh, okay.
Not here at all, just suburban. And so coming here, the small town is so different where people do remember you. People will notice you and be like, oh, I saw you there yesterday, or they'll wave at you in high V. And at first I was like, yuck. Why are you talking to me? And then I just realized it's a different way to relate to people. And then once you do know people in your community, it just, to me, expands your world even more. So I worked at the library and had a lovely experience with the community there. And then I moved on and wound up here at the flower shop. And it has been another great way into the community because USD has been using us for their a lot of their events. So they had the body donation program mass funeral 2 weeks ago, and we did the boutonnieres and corsages for the family members, as well as a large floral piece for that event for the mass funeral, just to show that we wanted to really, support this and make sure that we're here for USD, we're here for the town, we are here for whatever floral and gift needs.
That's cool. Is there any like future projects or expansions or stuff they might come up or wanting to do?
Yes. So
restaurant?
Oh,
everyone always says that.
Goodness, no. My dad worked restaurants a lot in my life, and I learned that it's a really lovely thing to do, and also your body really gets tired after a while. I think the excitement I have for the future and the expansions I want to make, we want to make sure that everybody in Vermillion at some point or another has flowers on their table, flowers in their office, or flowers in their workplace. I really think that flowers are nourishing for your soul. And so why wouldn't you put them in your space? Why wouldn't you put them somewhere you're going to be every day to have that beauty and that nature looking right at you? And I think also kind of expanding on the gift side of things and honing in what Vermillion needs. So our first year was hang on tight, make a bunch of flowers, and really watch what customers are buying, when they're buying it, and how to hone in to be successful. So I think we're really moving towards the gift ideas of things that kind of go with flowers, where my mind is kind of moving. So having special containers that you can buy once and have your partner or husband bring in and say, oh, I've got her flowers in this container every year for 2 years. And it's a really special event. Or I want to have gifts that kind of transcend holidays as a yearly thing. Because, birthdays come up all the time. They're not just around December and other holidays. So I think candles have become a really good thing. We're trying to really hone in some local South Dakota food products. So right now we carry these chocolates by Denise's Chocolates. She's out of Yankton. They are to die for. So delicious. And Denise is so sweet. So, candy, a balloon, and flowers, money, easy gift. Candles and flowers, wicked fall gift. So I think just honing in what that is, while also providing some more upscale decor that if someone wants a really fancy wreath to go on their door, we can find that or make that for them.
Oh, okay. Would you guys do, for example, let's say, well, it got me interested on the food stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say example, I made, I don't know, like cookies or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Would you guys, or anyone, not just me, anyone,
yeah,
if they made like a little food project, would you guys be willing to do, like, I guess, sell that there, or how does that work?
So that's something we're still really honing in. So for our first year, Grace Freeman, she owns Prairie Moon Herbs. She's out on Frog Creek Road here in town. And
yeah,
carried her local teas for the first year, and people loved that. They loved walking in and seeing a Vermillion product.
That's cool.
So I think that's something I would love to work towards and push to make sure that, we have things from here. And I think location matters in a small town. So we're in Vermillion. We need to support Vermillion and make sure that we're keeping our money local and supporting the businesses here. So that's something I'm really working towards, is getting more local product.
Okay, I like that. I didn't know. See, I need to go to the store.
You got to come in.
I cannot believe
for
it.
Cheesy Pete's.
I know. There's a... And it's kind of, what's really cool now? Because before, I think I've been here about to be 4 years in September.
Cool. Yeah.
And at first I was like, there's nothing much here. But it looks like either I wasn't looking or now there is, because like there's that strip mall now.
Mm-hmm.
There's more stuff.
Yep.
You guys came in and then they're building more stuff by Walmart, and then there's more stuff in downtown and this and that. I'm like, I guess now there's more stuff. I know the restaurant thing,
it's an ebb and flow for sure. Since I've been here since 2011, and my best friend and roommate has lived here almost her whole life, she has seen the ebbs and flows. And so I think it's something to feel excited about, is when it gets really full. There's a lot of great businesses when there's a big flow, but then the ebbs are kind of the scary when you do see places closing or moving on.
Would you say, talking about like a Vermillion a bit, would you say it is kind of growing, or is it still like that? Because like how you're saying, there's places that come, go.
I feel like we're going up. We're just like, because there's so many people who love Vermillion and care. We have the bookstore downtown outside of a dog that the felines run, and they love this town. the Fries who own the Pied Piper Vermillion, they came to Vermillion because they knew we were a great town here. They knew that we would be a supportive place. And so just knowing that, Jim and Monica at Cafe Brulee, and you just have these people who care and work so hard for the town. And that's really what I am also after, and to get that same feeling.
Okay. You're right. You're right. And then I think some people, because I've been like wondering too. I'll just go on a brief rant.
Let's go.
I always wonder, I'm like, why is it so small? I've always asked this.
Yeah.
Because you guys got the university and everything's good. But I guess it is now. I think it's been like that, up and down, But I think we hit that point where, hey, now it's going up.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
People are realizing how great it is here. So if you do drive around town, you can see growth. So Bliss Point, which I'm looking right at that housing development, that big thing has popped up in the past few years. How many homes were built? I was driving on 29 right by New to You, or it was 29, excuse me, on Highway 50 right by New to You, and I saw some more building. So I think there is a lot of growth in Vermillion.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the college brings people, and, a story as old as time, the vortex works, and people don't leave. People don't leave. So that's Sophia, that's me. So I think enough people come here from far away or close, Sioux Falls even. They're like, oh gosh, this is a really rad place. There's like community, there's love, there's support here. Why wouldn't I live here?
No, you're right. Because even like our plans when we came here in 2020,
yeah,
we were just going to come here for like a year and then go back. Apparently we're staying forever.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind. Now I do like it. I didn't like it.
It takes time.
It does.
Yes.
But it's because it's a very, I want to say, calm place.
Yeah.
It's like you're saying, it's a small town.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. I really do like it. We were talking about it. We were in Mexico, my mom, because they visit us too.
Yeah.
She was telling everyone how amazing the town is.
Oh.
And we were showing pictures. And the same thing I was telling like my cousins and them, like how what it is.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we were talking about, the differences. I think it depends on which area. They would say, hey, there's no bars on the windows. I know there's no bars on the windows. And I tell this to a lot of people about the garages. That surprised me. I saw the garages open.
That's insane to me.
And I'm like, hey, did they forget to close it?
Or like, is it broken?
Yeah. But no, apparently like there's not too much crime. I think like they say the most common thing is like drunk college kids stealing bikes.
Absolutely.
Then they leave the bike.
Rite of passage of Vermillion to get your bike stolen if you're silly enough to not lock it up.
So let's dive into Vermillion a bit. Yeah. What would you like in Vermillion?
What do I want in Vermillion?
I know some people, this is what I've heard. People would say a Taco Bell and then a Target.
No.
But what would you like? Or you find how it is right now?
That's a hard one because obviously I love a Target run. Don't get me wrong. I love to go swipe my credit card at a Target. But I think the reason why Vermillion rocks so hard is we don't have that. Mm-hmm. Is you have to go to the Bean, right? So instead of going to a corporate store or a chain store, you go to the Bean on Main Street and you get really nice coffee from Leslie. And you go to the Outside of a Dog and get your books there. You go to Murph's Appliance and get your appliance. I think it just gives you the option to support a small entity in business rather than a corporate business.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what I really love about Vermillion. So I feel like I wouldn't change anything. Oh, I know what I would change. On Cedar Street, the med students love to walk in the middle of the road right by the med building and that frat house. And so they don't use the crosswalks.
Yeah.
It makes me irate. I think I'm old enough now to be mad about students walking in the road because I know I was totally doing that. I totally was like, hit me, I'll get free tuition. But now as an adult, I'm like, if you don't get out of my way, I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm a pacifist, but I'm going to feel mad about it. So I think I would love a crosswalk in front of the med school.
That's a good idea.
Keep it small.
And I work at the med school. I just don't go on that side.
Tell those stinking kids I'm going to hit them. Just kidding. Cut that out. But you tell those kids to be smart at 7 a.m. when they're walking, and I'm angrily driving.
Why is there so many coffee shops? I just realized that when you were talking about the Bean,
mm-hmm.
and Leslie's great. And there's like, there's the Bean.
Yep.
I'm going to count Cafe Brulee.
Always.
And then there's 2 or 3 there's a Starbucks
mm-hmm.
over there. And there's a Starbucks in Hy-Vee.
And a Scooters and a Caribou.
Yeah. And I think there's another Starbucks inside USD. But I don't know if that's
in the muck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why do we
have so many?
Same thing. I'm not a coffee drinker. See, I'm boring. I'm boring.
Boring's good.
But the coffee thing, I'm like, because like my wife, she said, oh, when she retired, she said she wants to open up a coffee shop. I'm like, a coffee shop.
I think, but the thing about coffee shops, which I kind of get, is you don't have to be open all day if you don't want to, right? Like some people get coffee at 5 p.m., but not a lot of the humans. You could like be open from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m.
That's why they open up. I mean, that's why they close. Well, I always feel like Starbucks. Yep. I thought it was open like 24 hours.
No.
But yeah, it closes at 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what about when they drink at night?
Yeah.
I guess people don't drink coffee at night?
I mean, I always just had a little pot in my dorm room and just make a 12 cupper and hit the art building hard.
So it's more popular in the mornings.
I think so.
See, I don't know nothing about coffee. I make coffee for my wife. I just don't drink it.
I'm a fiend, but also I am a person who is cheap. And so I just make it at home. But if I don't have my coffee, I don't leave the house. That's my rule in this world. If I don't have a cup of coffee, I won't leave.
I think like my wife too. She said she needs her coffee every day, but at a certain hour. If she doesn't have it, there's been times where like, my bad, I forgot to make it. And she has those, and I'm like, you know what? Let me make it and let me drop it off. To work, or sometimes anything. I'll go
with flowers, Jose.
Yeah. I need to. That's actually a good idea. I should do that now.
I can't help it. I'm really great. I think a skill I have is making husbands look great. If you come in here and tell me 2 things your wife likes, let's go. Let's do it.
Okay.
Give me a favorite color, favorite season. Boogie fever.
I need to buy some flowers now.
I think so.
What time do you guys open today?
We opened at 8 a.m. and we close at 5:30.
I'll swing by after this.
Phenomenal.
I want to see what you guys got.
We have some really fun ones. My girl Mara, she's my assistant manager and social media chair. She has been filling so we always have options in our case when you walk in. So if you're here for a quick visit, you walk up, you see something you like in the case, you grab it, we check you out, you run. Or if you have a little more time, you can always tell us, hey, she likes this, they like this. We can make something up in a wrap or a vase if you have your own vase at home, or you can set an order for a later date. Also, if sometimes it's easy to forget that like a day's coming up. I have a hard time with birthdays personally, so we can do standing orders. You can call me once. I can write 13 tickets out for every single holiday. Your flowers will be delivered with the card, exactly what you wanted, and your card will be run every time. So your brain is removed from that, and we just get who you love flowers.
So when's the best time to buy like a gift? Like I want to buy something for my wife. She knows I'm doing this right now. But is it better when it's like a surprise, or is it better, or does it? I don't know.
That's a tough one. I think receiving gifts is fun. Obviously, holidays, if you don't get a gift or something, it's a little, maybe a faux pas. People always say, I don't want a gift. They want a gift. They want a gift. So get them a gift. And, but I think I would love to receive flowers out of the blue. To me, that even as a florist working in a floral shop, I was off one day and my boyfriend sent me flowers and I was like, over the moon. So excited because, I don't know, they're flowers and they're at my doorstep and I get to look at them for 2 weeks. So yeah, I think any day is a really great day to get flowers. Anniversaries, heck yes, flowers. Birthdays, we could do plants and a chocolate if she's not a flower gal. We got all the options. Kids' birthdays, a push present when your wife has her child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where would I find you guys? Like, even like, I think we still got some time, but like, how would people find y'all?
Yes, there's a couple different ways. So our physical location is at the corner of Cottage and Cherry, and we are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30, and then Saturdays we are open from 9 to 1. And then we do take orders over the phone every single day. It is 605-659-8022. And we ask you a myriad of questions: the person's name, address, phone number, where we're delivering, when we're delivering, types of flowers you would like. And then we do that and run your card once it's been done. Or we also have a website which you can order from if you don't want to talk on the phone, or after hours as well. If it's 10 p.m. and you realize, oh gosh, I forgot to get flowers, you go to VermillionPiedPiper.com.
I'll add the link.
Thank you, please. I should know it. This is really bad that I don't know it. I'm so sorry, everybody. Sorry. You go on our website and you can order right from there. Your card gets charged right there and everything goes as planned. So, and then you can just walk right in, which is kind of my favorite because then you get to really see what we have. We want to make sure that We have all of our buckets of flowers really visible so you can see what we have. So if you see one flower, you're like, oh, they would really like that one. Like if you find one flower, you're like, we can work with that. We can make something to go from there. I always recommend going in with because flowers are so visual that if you don't put your eyes on them, it's a little harder. But that is also why we have florists here to make things really lovely if you don't want to put your eyes on it.
All right, I'm gonna head to the store right after this.
Yay!
Now, but since we are running out of time. Is there any last words or last shout outs you want to give out or anything?
Okay. We offered all sorts of good things. Yeah, so I want to make sure we got all of our goodies that we offered out loud. As I said, flowers, bread and butter. We have our plants as well. We also do silk florals. So some people do want flowers in their home, but they don't want the upkeep or care that goes along with it. So we make sure to have a really good selection of silk florals that we could make into an arrangement for you, very similar to fresh flowers, but they would last, kept out of the sun and kept well for a lot longer. And we also are, still working on products. So if you come into my store and you don't see something and you say, hey, Sophia, this could be a really cool idea. I'm really open to people telling me what they want to see because my opinion isn't everything. My opinion is okay and it's got us this far. And also we can always do better. So I think come into our store, take a poke around and be like, hey, maybe this could be a fun addition. And it really is something I'm into. I love groupthink and community mindedness.
Do you guys sell succulents by any chance?
Yes, we do.
All right. That's okay, sweet.
Yeah, we just got a new shipment of succulents in. I have money trees right now, which are super cute and good luck. I have a lot of other really nice green plants, some calanchos.
All right, I'm going to head to the store right now. All right, bye. Let's end this right now. But I want to thank you so much, Sophia.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jose. It's been really great. And thank you for thinking of Pied Piper Vermillion. Happy to be